are bobbing in the harbour, the champagne corks are popping, race engines are being fired up. It's the 14th Monaco Historic.
My first time in Monaco was, wow! How was a baker like I was, a small shop like I am, in Dijon, how can I be there in the middle of all these big stars? Jacques told me, come to the Formula 1 Grand Prix. And I said, being in Monaco Formula 1, yes, said, you come, I will give you a pass. I was not in Monaco, sit on my ass and going in a bar. No. I was in Monaco to work and to understand and to develop the relationship. I meet in Monaco maybe 50% of the paddock. My only one big problem, and you can feel today, was my English. My English was very, very poor. I grew up in close to Dijon, Burgundy, wine country. And I grew up over there. I was just a kid. My family, I have a dad and mom, and they were great. And I have brother and sister, and we are growing together. And every time I expect to have not a good life, but I was feeling I want to do something in my life. I fall in love in motor racing because it was a sport with a lot of passion and a lot of risk. And I was very impressed by the driver, what they can do with the car. And I was loving this sport, and I was loving maybe the noise too. I was loving the ambience, and I was loving smell the oil. I bought a shop making like a credit line, but not with a bank, with friends, because I had no money, with a seller. And I immediately have a lot of idea, starting to grow business. And I was selling pedals, steering wheels. I was good, and no one was the people. It was coming fashion to come to see me. In 1970, I came on a racetrack and I saw a crash. I jumped outside and it was a big fire. First we get the extinguisher to stop the fire, and after we helped Jean-Pierre to come out of the car, and he was badly burned. It was bad, but I said, we have to do something for people like that. I imagine to manufacture suits a different way. And I came to see a suits manufacturer for firemen, and I said, what, can you do that, can you do that, can you do that, but I have no money. And the guy believed to me and said, okay, we can do something together. Don't forget, between 1970 till 1986, it was no standard. No FIA standard, no SFI standard, no nothing. You know, it was just, you have to wear a suit. I was going on a racetrack and explaining to the driver what I was doing. It was the first racing service. I think it's a market because you have a lot of hill climbing race, a rally race, racetrack race, and maybe I can develop a business on this way. But to develop a business this way, I need money, I need cash, and I make cash with the car accessories and motorbike business. At the beginning it was a low level, and you talk with the driver and with the racers, and these racers, they grow. Le Mans was very important for us because it was the first big win. Pescarolo and Larousse was becoming very popular. That's how we come in Formula 1 Jacques Lafitte. He was a European champion in Formula 2. He was one of my best customers and a friend. He told me, come with us because the racing suits are not good in Formula 1. Why you don't come in Formula 1? He was somebody very positive. I will go fast, I will do that, I will do that. And you have to do that, it will work. You have to do that, it will work. And we were talking together sometimes. I didn't have a lot of confidence. I said, come, do it, do it, do it. He was pushing me. I remember in the 70s talking with Emerson Fittipaldi or Niki Lauda or all the big drivers, and it was easy to talk to them because they knew safety was so important at this time. Don't forget, at this time it was fire a lot of time. A lot of people die in a fire, and we were talking with them on fire, on new products, on new stability, on new gloves and new shoes, and also I was discussing with them for what do they expect. I was talking to everybody, and we immediately started to make suits for other teams. And in 3 or 4 years, I was equipped about 80% of the paddock. No one of my competitors was taking care of them. And I was there to help them. And in 1982, we get a crash in Zolder. One friend was killed. He was Gilles Villeneuve.
For me, firstly, Jules was the most genuine person I ever knew. Secondly, he was the fastest racing driver that history has ever known. He went doing something that he loved, but he hasn't left us, because the world will remember what he has given to motor racing.
I was with Jacques Lafitte, and we were very sad, with the story. And Jacques told me, what? Why we don't build a golf course together for, I would save money for my daughter, for Camille and Margot. Because, you see people like Gilles who die. One day I will die also. And we have to do something together. I believe, I'm sure you will do a good job together, and it will be a good retirement plan for my daughter. I was running my company and running my life with different business. One was a seats business, and I sold the seats business in 83, 84. I was making car accessories like spoiler, front spoiler, rear spoiler, all of that. And I sold all what was around my business and making some cash to build my new business, my new company, and the new machinery for the suits, and to develop new products. I remember working with Ron Dennis, McLaren, Frank Williams, Ken Tyrrell, working with Ligier, I was working with Alfa Romeo, I was working with Ferrari, I was working with all this team. And it was not because I was paying anything, because they were paying me. It was because they want the best products and they were believing in my product. When you are friends with drivers, you can very easily see the pressure for the race. They're starting to be anxious and focus and they look nice. They look cool, but they are not cool. You know, we make measurement in a heartbeat in a racing driver, and we discovered in a Monaco Grand Prix, we were making that with medical people, normal heartbeat for these people are between 50 and 60. Okay? But suddenly when he was coming about 5 minutes, the heartbeat come from 5 to 60 to 100, 120. And about, you know, they show the panel 1 minute, and you show the panel 30 seconds, and you show the panel 5 seconds. You can see the heartbeat is 100, 120, 140, 150, till 180. Just the pressure. And when they start, it was 180. Imagine the blood pressure for these people during this time. It's incredible. And don't forget, because at this time, the start of the race was sometimes death. Imagine you have 24 crazy guys. Imagine how many horsepower, how many noises it gives a freedom to all these people. No one is ready to give up. Everybody wants to kick the next one. They have the knife in the mouth, and they are ready to not kill with accident, but kill because they want to beat the guy. And these 24th guys are the best in the world. Today, you know, the drivers, they are not the same like before. I don't tell today is not good. I don't tell that. It's a different sport. You have no brake help. You have no anti-spinning. You have no steering power. You know, you have to turn the wheels. You have to change the speed. The racer was finishing the race completely exhausted.
35 miles an hour, and you were maintaining a pace of something like that for 75 laps. Did you have any problem? I didn't want to lose.
Monaco, you are changing the gearbox maybe 4,000 times in 2 hours, you know, and you never stop. And any second, any minimum second you are losing in the changing time, if you have bad gloves, you get blister. They were getting blister everywhere. Ayrton came to me and said, "Hey, Yves, can we do something? I have blister," and I was thinking something. The sewing inside the gloves hurt my finger, and maybe if we can put the sewing outside of the glove, it will be better for the feeling. I said, why not? I never seen that before, but why not? And he tested in a practice. Oh shit, it's so good, it's so good. Can you do one more pair for me? Or 2 pair for me? For the season? I said, yes. I invent gloves with Ayrton Senna. I invent stretching material in a fabric for the racing suits with Prost and Senna. Now, I was inventing a lot of things.
Stand 21 à Dijon est le champion du monde dans la fabrication des combinaisons de Formule 1. Le couturier de ses stars, Prost, Senna, Mansell, Piquet, Boutsen, Alliot, Shiver et bien d'autres, une vingtaine des plus grands pilotes du monde sont habillés par Yves Morizot.
Une combinaison automobile, ça ne se fabrique pas comme un vêtement normal parce que la chose numéro 1, c'est la sécurité du pilote. La chose numéro 2, qui est extrêmement importante, qui s'appelle la sécurité active, qui est le confort du pilote. Et la chose numéro 3, qui est aussi pour vous, téléspectateurs, très importante, c'est l'esthétique, le look de la combinaison.
I was thinking when my customer was like my brothers. I just want to help them. And that's why, they feel I was a good person, because I was not here to make money, and I was taking care of them. Because this time in Formula One, nobody to take care of them. Nobody was here to take care of them, And the engineer was thinking just on the car, and the racetrack was thinking for the spectator, and the driver were like the hero, and it was big battle between the Formula One driver on the organization, on the FIA.
Good evening. Ayrton Senna, 3 times world motor racing champion, has died after crashing during the San Marino Grand Prix. Senna suffered irreversible brain damage when his car veered off the track at almost 200 miles an hour. He was taken to hospital in nearby Bologna, but he died a few hours later. Senna, aged 34 and from Brazil, was widely regarded as one of the greatest drivers of his generation. The crash happened just 24 hours after an Austrian driver, Roland Ratzenberger, died on the same track. The tragedy has raised new questions about safety on the Formula One circuit.
I saw bad crashes, I saw Senna crashes, I saw so many crashes, and it impacted me because I was thinking every time, shit, why this guy died? What we have to do to help him? Okay, and it's exactly what you have to do. When something happens, you have to say, okay, that's where we are. What can we do to help him?
Now we have an emergency vehicle out on the circuit, which suggests that that's got nothing to do... Oh, we've got all kinds of vehicles out on the circuit. We have the sapeur-pompier vehicle also out, so the safety car is out. The safety car is out on the circuit and is lining up the cars behind it.
I met Yves in 95. We just met because I was at Le Mans and Yves was at Le Mans, and we just got to talking, and I thought he was a pretty nice guy, and I guess he thought I was a nice guy, and we managed to stay in touch, and I bought some of his uniforms, and we continued on, and over the next 10 years, the Hans evolved.
Bonjour, mon ami.
Good. I can't hug too much. My back was broken.
Oh.
It was a bad accident 3 months ago.
Was in racing?
Yeah. It was not a big hit for a long time. But as you probably know, in the week after Dale Earnhardt was killed in February of 2001, I took orders in this building for 250 units, and I had 3 on the shelf. The volume started picking up, and we realized that we couldn't handle the world. The FIA wanted more than just me, and the obvious selection was Yves Morizot's firm. He had the best uniforms out there that I recall, and all the safety equipment. So I called Yves, asking him to be one of the European distributor for Hans.
Safety is a constant concern, and Sauber was the first team to use the head and neck support safety collar, or hand system, in a race environment.
We're very lucky that we've got Professor Sid Watkins here. He's going to explain to us how the system actually works. Sid, we've got the device here with the helmet attached. What actually happens in the event of an accident?
The yoke fits on the shoulders. The vertical component will limit the forward flexion of the head in a frontal accident, and by so doing reduces the forces in the head and in the neck to acceptable levels.
Okay. Well, we know that some of the guys had some comfort problems. The Sauber team have overcome that. But remember, this system is compulsory for next year.
I remember some driver said, I will never wear this piece of crab. Why do you want to wear that? It's just a joke. But what happened in Brazil? Alonso get a huge crash.
That did Fisichella pass Raikkonen. Oh!
Nasty. He hit the stationary tyre, of course, and terrible accident there for Fernando Alonso.
And he came out of his car, and after the race, he told to everybody, said, "Oh shit, Hans is working. I feel really big stop in my brain, my head, and I'm happy to have Hans." And now it was finished in Formula 1. But after you have to make in Le Mans, you have to make in off-road, you have to make in rally, you have to make in all this sort. And I help in America to be in Bonneville, in Salt Lake, Salt Flats, you know. I help also in drag racing, you know. I help because I was believing so much in this invention.
Right, 3 minus 20 left, 2 to 3 short.
We won it! Finally!
It was one of the biggest safety inventions. And I was close to the inventor because I was really involved in safety. When you put in the chest, you respect the shape of the sail, the angle, and everything, etc. Prototype. My competitors never think of that because they were more on the sales market. It was not my priority. My priority is to make enough money and make enough success because I want my kids will be proud of me. One is, I have two here. One is a replica and one is exactly the first one when he was, look at, right inside. He was, before he was racing for Toleman, he was to make a prototype. I have maybe 250. Olivier Panis who won Monaco. Chris Craft was a racer, Chris Craft, you know Chris Craft in America. Look at here in Fittipaldi. You have a hole here. We were putting fresh air. It was a tube to put in fresh air on his stomach. This one is Patrick Depailler. He was killed in Hockenheim during the test with the Alfa Romeo car. Good buddy of mine. It was just signed by Nelson, signed by Nigel. Alain came, I forgot to ask him to sign. It was when, I think it was in a Portuguese Grand Prix. 1988, I think, I'm not sure. Today we have about 100 employees around the world. We're still the only company in this business who's still owned by family. You know, 100% of the Stunt 1 chair is owned by me and my family. Okay? Today my competitors, they are owned by banks. No more family. You know, and it's different value. I'm not here to make more money. We are here to make our job and to be better and better. Really, if I want to be rich, I already get big offer to buy my company, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago. And you know what? I don't want to sell my company. I have my family with me, and you don't sell your best friend. You cannot sell your best friend. My company is my best friend because he helped me to come from a small guy from Dijon, a baker, to somebody here on a racing planet. can I say in my life? Like we told, we like Jackie X. Last year we had Jackie X here. We are now in the Léonaudière, last straight line, 77. And I said, oh shit, the black flag will come. But we will take advantage to spread the information and to give what I did. I'm not here to promote Stunt 21, you know. I'm here to promote safety, because more safety in racing, more racers. Today it should be very easy to me to lie and make me bigger than I am, but it's just the truth, you know. I was not thinking, God will come with a new thing, I always be. No, because it was no market at the beginning. It was just a tiny market. One day I will be on cloud number 21, and I will watch down, look at down like that, and say, oh, my kids are better than I am. I will be proud of that.